Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. As always, I am joined by one of the most beautiful women on the planet, both inside and out. IFBB professional, bikini professional, Catherine Vaughn. And Kathy, who are we joined by today? Or who's our guest of honor?
All right. Well, hello, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in to Strength Unscripted. Tonight we have men's figure, IFBB Pro, Joshua Gomez, who earned his IFBB Pro card at his very first national competition. So we are very excited to have Josh on the show today and find out how in the world did he go pro at his first national show.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Have you done a podcast before, Josh?
No, this is actually my first one. So,
well, we appreciate it. I was Kathy's first podcast, and here we are, probably a dozen and a half later here, and having a good old time.
Yeah. Yep.
So let's start off with the obvious here, Josh. What got you in the gym, and then kind of what made you decide to be crazy and step on stage?
A lot of things got me in the gym. Sports being one, and then just kind of just doing it and just to do it, because I thought that was just kind of like, just to be healthy,
Yep.
I started off actually a little later than others. I started like at 18. So when I was in sports, I was just more kind of focused on sports. And then around graduation time, I figured, I need to step in the gym because I wasn't as active as I, once was. So I just kind of went from there and became like a personal trainer, and then went to school for physical therapy. So it was just kind of like in me a little bit. So
what sports did you play in high school or growing up?
I played, I wrestled and basketball.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
My son is a wrestler.
It's fun.
Yes. Yeah. And he's actually going to college. He leaves on Sunday, but he'll be wrestling for Whitewater, hence the wrestling shirt I'm wearing, even though it's in States.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I think that being in wrestling too, just kind of making weight, cutting weight, that helps get into, bodybuilding, just kind of just really toning in your physique. So I think that helped a lot.
Yeah, the two, they mirror each other a lot, wrestling and bodybuilding, as far as it being, even though wrestling is a team sport, it's more so based on the individual.
Yeah.
And wrestling is also not, is it just physical, but it's the mindset, which is, mirrors bodybuilding, and then the nutrition and the conditioning and all that. So I could definitely see how wrestling conditioned you to the bodybuilder you are today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably part of the magic that helped, or not even the magic, but just it helped you develop that grit to be in the gym and the determination to earn your pro card as fast as you did, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's very parallel with each other. So, and I looked at, anything that I did as, as if I want to do something, I'm just going to do it. And as crazy as that sounds, I guess that's all you can really do. Really, is just put your head down and make it work. But yeah, I think wrestling definitely played a good part in just being disciplined as far as, dieting. And when things get tough, you just got to keep pushing.
Was it difficult though as a wrestler? I'm gonna reference wrestling back when I was in high school. I didn't wrestle, but I had a lot of friends who were wrestlers, and they would just go to the extremes back in the day of, walking around with the rubber suits on. I don't know how things have changed now, but the rubber suits, like literally having like a Tic Tac for the day, extreme. Where did you have to kind of reposition your brain a little bit? Because obviously dieting for a show, you don't have to go to the extremes per se, because now you've got, 8, 10, 12, 16-week leeway. Where I know a lot of times wrestlers, they're trying to crash weight in 48, 72 hours. That makes sense?
Yeah. It is a little different today, because I think people can make weight. I think they can be a few pounds over, a few pounds high, above weight. So, but yeah, you had to make weight, and I was pretty good at that though, because it came natural. I think that's just kind of, I don't know if it was like more genetics, but I wasn't worried about the whole the weight class of that, but I just knew like when I was getting a little heavier, it was just easier to drop weight. And yeah, they did kind of go crazy on with the running and putting like the the rubber suits on and the you know, just really getting into the sauna and sweating everything out. So yeah.
So so you get in the gym, you start training. So was it someone tapping you on the shoulder saying you should step on stage, or was it you saying, "Hey, I want to try this"? Like, what made you go to the stage?
Actually, I was actually working out with my friends, and they were doing it, and they were actually doing it locally here. And yeah, I mean, once you're around it, you kind of get the bug a little bit. So it looks exciting. You know, you kind of want to be part of it. And I did it for the first time, and I definitely enjoyed it. So yeah.
So what was your first prep like? And was there anything in that prep where it was just like, man, like this is tough, or was it all just kind of like easy peasy for you? And how did you place? Because I'm pretty sure you did well.
It was different because doing it like, you know, hanging with my buddies and kind of doing the you know what they did and just kind of mirroring them a little bit, but not actually being in the you know doing an actual show or, you know, getting ready to do a show. It was different because now I feel like there was more of like a weight when you're in the competitive side, and that just kind of comes natural. So but yeah, I the first time I went to go do it, I actually cut too fast, too soon, and we kept on doing the cardio and conditioning, and I actually got rhabdo. And
wow.
Yeah, that was a setback. And I was like, well, is this actually for me? Because I thought it was just, you know, just doing it for fun, and that was kind of like a serious, you know, issue. But you know,
do you know what that is, Kathy? I can't tell if you know what that is. Do you want to explain, Josh? Or
so rhabdo is basically, you're basically burning yourself on both ends, where protein kind of gets into your blood, and it kind of breaks your body down. And usually, you know, older people can get it, and they don't do so well afterwards. But yeah, they got to pump you full of IVs, and you're pretty much on bed rest for a couple weeks. And I was like 2-3 weeks from the show, and that happened. So it was definitely an eye opener for sure. On how dedicated, you know, bodybuilders are to be in the sport and continue to push.
Did you have a coach at that time, or were you doing this all yourself and just your buddies?
So no, I did. A guy that was at the gym, he was a coach. He's an IFBB Pro, and he was like, you know, you should really do it. And my friends were always telling me to do it, and so he was coaching me up, and I think, you know, just kind of getting the first, you know, getting to know each other, right? You know, body wise, you know, what things to eat, things not to eat, how your body, you know, plays off that. I think I think we just learned from that. So yeah, when he realized that, you know, we kind of cut too fast too soon, because I can kind of cut weight pretty easily, but yeah, it's just, I think maybe with like the stress factors too, with like work and everything else kind of playing a role, I think that kind of just took its toll, and my body just kind of was like, you know what, you can't go anymore. So
yeah. So how long was the prep until obviously you hit that rhabdo wall? I guess I'll say rhabdo wall, I guess.
So we did a 16-week prep, and I was probably 3 weeks out from the show, maybe 2. And yeah, you know, your whole heart's into it. You know, you kind of heartbroken that you know you couldn't make your first one, but you know, health is everything. So I just had to, you know, step away and, you know, get healthy again.
Yeah. So then after that prep, how long did it take for your body to recover before you did the second prep that qualified you for nationals?
So I actually waited a year, kind of just reset everything, and dial back in. Same coach, and we did a little better. And then I waited the whole year, and then we ended up taking first in the class of men's over 35. And then from there I was going to go to nationals, and then I think it was last year. My mind was, I was like in that rut again. You know, I was just like, okay, I don't know if I can do nationals, because, you know, you just get burnt out with everyday life, you know. And it was difficult, and I just knew mentally I wasn't ready for it. And even though people, you know, I was kind of disappointing people, but I think you know, I had to protect that, you know, and not overshoot and get rhabdo again, because I felt like it was kind of going into that direction, because I was cut so hard for the nationals, and I didn't want to do that.
Justin, not to beat the dead horse, but for people that don't know what that is, what were the signs? Like, what were you feeling? How do you know did you have that?
You're very exhausted, very fatigued. You feel like anytime you want to move, you feel like you're going to pass out. And the one that got me was you're actually peeing blood.
Oh,
okay.
So that was one of the main factors. And me working at the hospital, I knew a lot of the nurses, so they brought me in and checked me out. So
yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Josh, I don't want to interrupt you, but I just want to say before we get any deeper or further, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you for being transparent. I know sometimes it's hard for people to share, like things that they've been through or whatever. But at the same time, by you being open and honest, it's educating other people that are in the industry or may even be considering to, like start a bodybuilding journey, because there are so many things that happen, behind the scenes. People see the shreds, the gains, and they see the glamour of it, but they don't really know like what we go through. So by you sharing that, I just want to say thank you, because, somebody may be struggling with those symptoms and just think that it's prep, not knowing that it's actually something serious.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No, go ahead,
No,
Gabby. Continue.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I honestly, I never spoke about it, and I didn't even really think about speaking about it until actually reading your questions, Sean. And my girlfriend actually had to kind of like, hey, do you remember like you had some bad moments, and I try to block out those bad moments at times, and I don't think that's necessarily healthy to do that. You kind of gotta, talk about it when need be. So,
Yeah.
But the big takeaway though, Josh, is obviously, as you said, your second prep, you knew your boundaries and didn't want to go to that extreme again. And like Kathy said, I think some people probably wouldn't even see the signs, that maybe they're just thinking, okay, maybe I'm peeing a little blood because my PED usage is a little bit higher, or this is just, I'm on low carbs, that's why I feel like so lethargic, and they just kind of blow it off and go the distance. But obviously, again, it's an education. As Kathy said, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then I'm not going to get any deeper after this. But like Josh, I also know that you're a believer, and I feel like God is using you right now to share your testimony. So, thank you for letting God use you the way that he's using you in this moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we're all vessels in life, right? We're all just
Amen.
Finding that direction, best direction for everyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, then you took some time off, and then it was like, okay, now I'm ready for nationals.
Yeah. I was locked in. I got a new coach.
Okay.
The coach, he wasn't doing well with, personal life things, and got a new coach, which I'm still with him today. And we just locked in. We knew the goals, and we had like the same idea on how to go about things. I kind of opened up to him a little bit about that too. So he made sure that, he kept me on point, on check with everything too. So, getting your blood work done, getting the refeeds, and, so you don't just die out. So he definitely, was very concerned about that too. So, and going into my nationals this past July, I knew I was ready. I just, you have that. And sometimes, it's just, you don't really know how to explain it, but you
feel it.
Yeah. You put in the work, and you're ready to go. Cause those little bumps in the road, I think, propelled me to really lock in on this one this past year. So,
so how long was your third prep?
my third prep was just under 6 months.
Okay.
Wow.
He was a new coach. So, and I told him a little bit about the history I had. So we kind of just, we kept it steady, and then we kind of just, worked our way into it. And then around maybe like the 20-week period is when we started really, dialing in on everything else. So, but yeah, a little under 6 months it was.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a big change with like nutrition and training from the previous coach to this coach, or was it kind of very similar? Did you have to readapt?
It was actually opposite. My first coach, he was, like, I don't know if it's like old school, new school. I'm kind of oblivious to it, but it was like my first coach was like, he wanted a low carb diet, high protein, where the other coach was, higher carb, moderate protein, but
Okay.
keeping the carbs, relatively high until, the month or so. And we kind of dip into, getting all that water and all that out of us. So,
So obviously it worked, but like, how did you feel like eating more food, more carbs? Like,
felt great.
yeah,
I did. I almost thought like I was kind of cheating myself because I was, sometimes I don't feel like I learned my lesson, because if I'm not like beating myself up to the point of rhabdo, I feel like I'm kind of cheating myself. So like when I was being fed this way, I was like, it didn't feel like I was changing anything, but the results were there, and the coaches were happy with check-ins. So as long as they were happy, I was happy. But it didn't. Yeah, I was kind of shocked that it was a little easier this go around.
yeah.
But was it harder mentally eating a certain way with your previous coach and now seeing more carbs, or did you embrace it like immediately, or was like, do I really want to do this?
Yeah, you're kind of hesitant. You're kind of hesitant on adding more things, but if you know the science behind the foods, right, it's going to definitely help you in the gym. So and he explained it too, of the reasoning why. And I was kind of hesitant at first because I didn't want to go the opposite direction. So but and being coachable, I think, is everything, because I think a lot of people do get in their heads, and I think that's why people need a coach to really clear things away, and so we can just focus on what we need to, and they can focus on the detailed stuff. So
what else?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Do you continue with your coach in the improvement season? Because technically there's never an off season, but that's good.
I'm still doing my check-ins with him, and we're just we're keeping it, because I don't know, he's asking me when to actually compete, and me and you were talking about this June, and I just want to be ready, but then again, sometimes you're never ready. You just got to do it. So so he, until then, he's like, well, let me know what you want to do, because you only have so long to actually step on stage. But I'm actually excited to step on stage to do my first pro show. But I really want to do great at it too, because just being on the sports side, granted, bodybuilding is very it's you don't know what you're going to get, right? Because it's so subjective. But being the competitive side, you want to just do your best, and you don't know what the outcome's going to be, but you just want to give it your all. And I definitely want to give it my all, my first try, in every show actually, but the first one, I really want to bring it. So
you will.
Thank you.
Yeah, you will.
So now are you able to channel, I guess, a new gear? Like now you went from first to now second, and now you're a pro. Now you got to find a new gear. Well, have you found that, or is it just come natural now that now got to take it to another level?
Definitely taking it to another level, right? Because there's some competitors out there. So and I think that's where I think the time, getting mentally, and just mentally prepared with all of it, and really just locking in, because you're doing this, but the people around you can feel it too. So I definitely keep them in my mind with a lot of these things too, on when I'm going to do it, and kind of get them prepared in a sense. So but I definitely take it to a new level. But it's like the competitive side, I've always taken things to a 10, no matter what it is. It could be rec volleyball, and I'm taking it to a 10. That's just the nature.
Go ahead, Kathy, if you have.
Okay. So after earning your, are you still soaking it in, like your pro win, or is it like, I'm a pro now? Like, how'd you feel after earning your pro card, and how did you celebrate? Did you eat something yummy?
First thing I ate was pizza.
Okay.
It was in Pittsburgh where I got the card, and some people that were living there was talking about some pizza spots. So we definitely got a couple pies there, and and feasted. So as far as like me, being pro now, it hasn't sunk in yet. Because we actually drove down there. My mom, she doesn't like to fly, so we drove down there, which is like an 8-hour drive, and from there we drove back, and I went right to work. And from work, it was just ongoing. And I got the trophy and the card up, so it gives me that daily reminder. But definitely blessed and appreciate it. But I haven't really had time to sit down and really soak it in.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, where did you earn your which show, I'm sorry, did you earn your pro card at?
It was at the Pittsburgh show. Good question. It was hey, do you know the Pittsburgh show? National Collegiate. Yeah, National Teen Collegiate. Yeah, see?
Keep her around. Keep her around.
But yeah, in Pittsburgh and National Teen Collegiate Master in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And for those that don't know, Masters is not an easy competition. And it's for Masters or Masters Teen and Collegiate. It's not an easy competition. And for Masters competitors, I'm not quite sure about teens and collegiate, but for Masters, they only award pro cards to the first place winner.
Correct.
Yes. So that's a big deal for you, Josh, to earn your pro card at your first national competition at Masters, when it's only awarded to the first place winner. So
yeah, seriously.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. I was just trying to go in and then do my best, and yeah, I'm blessed. That's all I can say. It was a fun show, very organized, and I couldn't say anything bad about it. It was great.
Yeah.
It's obviously still hitting you because you haven't even put those 4 letters on your Instagram yet.
Exactly. Yeah. So usually, like when I'm in prep too, I kind of delete all social media and don't even go on there because it can be such a distraction. But yeah, I still have to. There's a lot of things I still got to do, and get things situated for all of it. So
yeah,
because I feel like most people, it's like just when they step off stage with the card, they're already going in their bag and grabbing whatever and updating. I think Kathy might have been guilty of that. I think you were that night, no? Or maybe the next morning?
I waited.
Oh, you wait? Okay, maybe it was China. Somebody else was like, oh no, grab me my phone. As soon as they stepped off stage, they added those little letters.
Yeah, no, not me. Yeah, I waited. So Josh, I'm curious because I know how bikini athletes train.
Mm-hmm.
How does a men's, competitor train? What is your training like, and what is your nutrition like?
So men's physique, right, is waist up, right? They only judge you on the front and the back. But as far as my nutrition, it's simple. It's the 6 meals and maybe a shake in between. But it was nothing really special. It was just he did give me a lot of fruit, which I enjoyed because not all carbs are created equal, but at the same time, I felt like that helped me with my lifts a lot too. So that was that was one thing. And when we first started working together, that's what he wanted to know. He was like, "What kind of foods do you like?" And he kind of implemented that so I don't go straight crazy in my meals or in the prep.
What's your favorite meal in prep?
My favorite meal in prep would have to probably be beef and rice. I don't know, something about the beef. It's that simple. Maybe some avocado too if I can take the fats in. So, but yeah. I'm simple. I can eat the same thing. And like I said, before I was even doing this, I started this a few years back. I always was relatively healthy. I always ate clean. I don't drink, I don't smoke. I play a lot of rec, volleyball, softball, whatever it is, but I try to stay moving and try to be as healthy as I can. So things like this can work for me. So
okay.
Who does all the cooking? You or your lovely girlfriend?
I do, actually. Yeah, I do. I do about 80%, but she's my sous chef. So
okay,
she definitely gets like the little knickknacks that are very time consuming. The rice and the chopping up the cucumbers and all that kind of stuff. So, but I do the cooking. Yeah.
So Josh, as you mentioned off air, you're Italian and Spanish. Do you use a lot of spices?
Oh, I love them. Yeah.
So, but have you been able to keep them, or have you had to eliminate some spices because maybe the salts and whatnot?
Yeah, we had to eliminate a lot. It was basically, I was doing, obviously like the last month or so, I was doing like the Mrs. Dash, right? The
okay.
Mrs. Dash salt. But he definitely, he gave me, quarter salt per meal, basically.
Okay.
And then when I felt like I was kind of getting into, and I told him about it, but there's like these little packets, these LMNT packets. It's like, yeah. I would drink one of those during my lifts because, me being in physical therapy, what causes muscle contraction, right? Sodium, what causes, relaxation, potassium. So I told him about it. He's like, well, just don't, intake too much salt. But I felt like I was getting a better pump in the gym. So the element was really nice. That it was kind of like a treat too, because there's a lot of flavors.
And plus, if you're still like 4, 5, 6 weeks post, you're still drinking a ton of water. So any sodium, you're going to kind of flush out a lot of it anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So here's a question that Kathy and I were talking off air. How do you prepare your rice? And I'll tell you where we're going with that question.
Okay. My girlfriend, she prepares that. So, and how she does it, I think she just kind of lets it just sit and simmer. And then
does she wash it ahead of time or just put it right in the bowl?
She washes it. It and then, cooks it on a high heat until it boils, and then turns it to a simmer, and then lets it sit. She doesn't touch it, and then we fork it for after like a 15-minute simmer. And it comes out really good. We do basmati rice. Basmati rice, I feel, comes out a little fluffier, and I think it's a little healthier, I think, from what I read. But she does that. She does that point. She does that.
Okay, because and I'm not talking ill of my wife. My wife's Colombian. Okay, her rice is terrible. She has no rice skills, none. So I cook the rice in the house, but I don't rinse it. I put it right in the pot and let it sit and boil it and whatnot. Where Kathy and my wife will go ahead and wash it till the water's clear.
Yep.
And then you do you can explain it, the whole finger water method here.
Yeah.
So we're laughing. I said, because I think my rice comes out fluffy because it's dirty. I'm not cleaning it, which I don't know if that's good or bad. But then again, Kathy, her rice comes out good, I guess.
Yeah, yep. I mean, I've done them both ways. I think your method, it comes out a little stickier.
Yes, okay, that's a good point.
Yeah, I think it comes out a little stickier because that's the way I did it too. It's kind of simple, easy, but having to wash it, I think, putting a little more time and love into it, I think it comes out better that way.
Yeah. And I've also been told that not only are you washing it, but you're also rinsing off excess starch.
And she just said arsenic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're we like the nutrition side of everything, so we definitely hone in on all that, like why, but I didn't even know that. So
so wait, Kathy, since this comes to mind now, in your household, you're growing up, did your parents have like the 30-pound bag and the burlap bag on the side that was open? Because I'm wondering that's why you really wash it, because it's sitting out there in the open.
Well, yeah, I mean, we bought bags of rice. My mom had a rice dispenser.
Oh, okay.
So but she always washed it. My dad always washed it, and I wash rice. So
just how you learned, right?
That's how I was raised. Yep.
So, Josh, what's been the biggest, I guess, challenge when you started this to where you are now? Whether it's the diet, the exercise, the mental, what's the biggest ups and downs that you have during prep?
I think it's more like just keeping. I think all of that can come easy if you kind of prepare and plan things week to week.
Yeah.
But I think just keeping your peace of mind, within and with people around you. I think that's probably the most difficult.
Okay.
But I think in work, when you're kind of dialing in those last few weeks, being physical therapy, we have patients an hour, 8 patients a day, and it's a lot of energy, a lot of talking, a lot of things that you're just kind of blacking out a little bit sometimes because you're just fatigued. But that's probably one of the harder things with that. It's just kind of like keeping things even keel with everyone and just trying to, because you're putting yourself in this predicament, right? So you don't want to kind of be kind of mean to people, because you can when you're kind of hungry, you get that hangry. But I think we are keeping that peace with everyone. Yeah, that's probably like the most difficult when it comes to that. Just trying to be level-headed.
So are you able to work out after a long day of work? Do you do it in the morning, or do you kind of do workout off days? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do it after work. I like to work out where I kind of have a few meals in me. Morning times I tried that. I tried everything, but I think that evening lifts are the best, and it's just what works for me. But eating, I gotta have at least 2 or 3 meals in me to actually feel like I'm getting a good workout in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if I do it in the morning, I'm not getting much in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll go back for a minute here. The night of the pro show that you took, what were your thoughts? Did you think you had it? Were you kind of surprised? Like, you're in the not I guess the finals, and it's like, what's going through your mind?
These guys, they're all bigger than me.
Okay.
They were bigger than me. They were. I didn't know what to expect because, like, this it's all subjective. So I wasn't sure. I just wanted to go in there with confidence and just put on a good show, really, and just have fun with it. But there was sometimes I felt like, like those positive moments, like, okay, I think I'm gonna do well. But then you always have that, that fear of like, but this could happen. But I kind of try to block that out and just, and hanging out with the competitors too, actually talking to them, actually kind of, help me kind of relax a little bit because it's competition, but we're all in here for the same thing. So I think if we kind of just, get together and just kind of talk and relax a little bit, I think things come a little bit more natural when you're on stage.
And do you have a typical routine to get yourself ready? Do you sit in the back do you mingle? Do you put headphones on and kind of hibernate with a hoodie on? Like, what's your protocol, I guess?
So I do a little bit of both. I'll do what I have to do to kind of prepare for on-stage performance, and then I'll go and mingle a little bit. But if I feel like, people are not ready for it, then I'll just kind of go back doing what I'm doing, but kind of just, feel out the room a little bit. But for the most part, I'm kind of just locked in, thinking about what I'm going to do, and go from there.
Okay. So can I share something that you shared with me, Josh?
What's that?
So Josh shared with me. So just so you guys know, I know Josh from our local gym in our area. So when Josh was sharing his experience as far as like his national show and everything, and one thing that he shared where I was just like, wow, like he was completely locked in. So he said that you had to leave the venue for peace of mind, went to the gas station, locked himself in the gas station bathroom, and just posed. That's how locked in he was. And that's how he, like preserved his peace.
Yeah.
Without comparing himself to other people, he locked in, removed himself, and did what he had to do so that he could just show up and show out.
Yeah.
Like,
I did. I
being locked in.
Yeah, it can get a little, intense back there. So I was just like, I had to do something to kind of stay focused and do me. But yeah, that was fun. People at Quick Trip were definitely going in the bathroom like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
I guess you got to embarrass yourself to do good things, right?
Yeah.
At times.
So, Josh, when you look at the physique division, and I've seen your physique, obviously, and people will see the thumbnail here, great physique. Do you feel to a point that in the pros now that maybe like the legs and some of the competitors should not be in physique? I mean, they should really be maybe more in classic, because I've seen some legs in some of the physique people, and it's like you've got 26, 28-inch quads. Not you, but obviously the competitors.
Well, thank you. No, you're right. I mean, there was a couple guys that were in the open that actually went into men's physique. And I don't know how, like that, I don't know if that should actually be, because, these guys are, open classic going into men's physique. I think it's just, I mean, the size is completely, offset. It's just crazy. But I mean, I definitely think, so this is what I heard. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but a lot of the judges, they don't critique our legs in men's physique, but at the same time, they kind of look at them to see if we're somewhat symmetrical, throughout the body. But there are some guys in there that just, they're just so big. I don't know if there should be like a weight cap or something. I don't know, but it seems to be working anyway. So regardless of what's going on, it's working still. So.
Yeah, no, I agree, because I've seen some of them, and I don't know if it was Aaron Banks or somebody that had like tree trunks, and I'm like, you probably could go up against classic physique and do well in it, but that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there should be some kind of, you know,
Yeah.
some kind of rule to have people
Yeah.
either in men's physique or open.
Because sometimes it seems like the judging is unclear. The criteria is unclear, you know?
Yeah. And what I actually read somewhere, they're trying to go back to like even like back in like 10 years ago on how men's physique should be. And I think I was reading something like with the bikini, they're trying to go back, like what it once was. So
Mhm.
I don't know how people feel about that, but yeah, I think it's good to change. It's good to have change with the game.
Yeah.
So as you analyze the sport, I mean, what is there anything that you would like to change? I mean, outside we talk legs, but I mean, because right now I know one of the biggest debates in classic and also physique is when it comes time to like the Olympia, there's 40, 50, 60, 70 competitors. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, or like I don't know if you've thought about that. Like, is that an issue or?
Is what an issue? I'm sorry.
Like when you see like in men's bodybuilding, they usually have the top 20, like for men's Olympia. But then
Right.
when you have classic and physique, they've got 40, 50, 60 competitors in the show. It's like, do you think there should be like more rounds or less? I mean, I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but it seems like there should be a way to kind of limit that a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know how to go about answering that, because I guess it's going to be a stiff competition with more people, but I just
it's tough because I've heard some people say with classic that they're going to do a prejudging, but then bring it down to like the top 20 at night.
Oh.
So I don't know if that'll carry over to physique, but it's for some people it's like they bring their families out, and if you're not going to be in the night show, it's tough. It's tough. I envy you guys, but I don't envy you guys.
Yeah, they do that with men's physique. They'll kind of I think like the top whatever 10 or 7 or whatever it was, like in Pittsburgh that made the top 7, they can try to place that first, but usually with the prejudging, you kind of have it from what I've been doing. You have it locked in the bag. So, but yeah, they do have something similar like that with classic. And
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what if the judges told you, like, what are you working on now for the next show? Now for your pro debut, are there certain areas overall or certain areas you're going to be improving on or working on?
Yeah, more size, definitely. Because I just seen the Chicago Pro with my class, and these guys had bigger backs. Just they look more rounded. So yeah, definitely trying to put on some decent size for it. But yeah, just trying to, as far as like going into it, just staying locked in with whatever coach says at the time. So
yep. Okay, Kathy, go ahead.
So when you are training, do you have a specific body part that you just love training, like shoulders, biceps, lats? What's your favorite body part?
I like shoulders and back.
Yeah.
I like shoulders and back. Yeah. I actually hurt my back a few weeks before the show.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of, I felt like I wasn't getting the full, posing as well as I wanted to, but, did what I could. But yeah, just a few weeks before the show, there was some tweaks, but we're all in pain at that time, right? We just got to just dial in and keep moving forward. But yeah, I mean, back is for sure one of my go-tos, just because, it's just fun to do, and then shoulders too, because it definitely brings out that width of everything. So I definitely like that aesthetic look too, just having those wide rounded shoulders.
Yeah.
How about you?
I definitely love training shoulders because I love feeling the pump in my shoulders.
Yeah.
And I like training my lats, and I have a love-hate relationship with training my glutes.
Yeah.
Like, I love it and I hate it. Like, it hurts, but then afterwards, when I see how full my glutes look, and it's just like, okay, I love it,
Yeah.
But like, I just love training in general. I love all of it,
Yeah.
So it's but I would have to say the one body part that probably like where I feel it the most, where it burns instantly, is quads.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I always feel it in my quads, and it's just like,
I think that's because with all the cardio we do too, you know,
yes,
and that really burns those legs down. And yeah, legs are not fun when you have to do them.
yes. How often do you pose as a men's competitor? Like when you're in prep, off prep, or I mean, you know what I mean, in season,
Yeah.
off season? Are you posing every day? And then I know you guys hit vacuum, like do a lot of vacuuming and like
Yeah,
what's posing?
I was posing last night, and I was posing with my coach. Wednesday morning,
Okay.
um, and yeah, I mean, I try to keep that because posing's everything, right? That's kind of what makes, you can really bring the package, but if you don't know how to show it, it can break you. So
Yeah.
posing I definitely want to continue working on to get better, because it's just such a difficult thing to do. So, but yeah, I try to pose. Well, now I'm not in a show or doing a competition right at this point. It's not every day, but it's a couple times a week throughout the day too, even like at work, because I'm in physical therapy, so there's mirrors everywhere, so you kind of have fun with it. And yeah, just do but yeah.
Josh, how close do you keep yourself to contest weight when you're off season?
Well, the past few shows that I was in the contest weight, I was like 190, 195.
Okay.
So, and I'm generally like around 205, 210. That's
So
where I
really
kind of,
close then. Okay.
yeah. So I kind of sit well with that weight, but I know in order to put on size, I know I gotta, eat a little bit more and just really, hit the gym harder. But yeah, I stay within maybe 20 pounds at most.
And how tall are you?
I'm 5'9.25". So
You can tell he's still young because he throws in the quarter. When you get to like 40s and 50s, you're like, yeah, I'm 5'8", 5'7", whatever.
yeah.
But I guess in physique, you need that extra quarter, or that's going to make the difference in the class. No.
It can, right? Depending on what class you're in, because if you're at the lower end of the 5'9", then you're up against guys that are 5'11", 6 foot, and that definitely takes
Yeah.
big
Okay.
change in things with the size on that.
Since you mentioned cardio, how much cardio do you do? Are you intense cardio, or lean come to you naturally with food and exercise?
It's a basic stair mill and treadmill incline usually.
Okay.
Slow and steady, just kind of keeping that heart rate, around, I don't know, like 130, 140. And yeah, just doing it for about 30 to 40 minutes a day. And
fasted or?
No, it's usually with a meal or two in. I don't know about that fasted state, but Kath, you can see. I don't know if you can, if you know anything about fasted cardio, but I don't know if I mean, a lot of people say like the GH factor kicks in and all that, but I feel like trash doing anything fasted. So I don't know how well that is on the body and recovery rate, because recovery is everything. That's how you build. And if I'm doing things fasted, I don't know how that could help. If I'm breaking my body down, I'm already lean.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the old school. When I used to compete, it was always fasted cardio, 30 minutes, black cup of coffee, but that's just me. But I know you can talk to 50 different people and they'll say fasted, non-fasted, do cardio after legs, don't do it after legs because you're going to jeopardize leg growth. A lot of bro science involved. My thing is if you're going to fast, as long as you're not diabetic, that's the one thing sometimes people don't realize. Right. But if you're not diabetic and, people know their body, that's me though. I get up first thing in the morning and do cardio in the morning, but, everybody's different.
Yeah, and exactly. I think every body is different, and I think that if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah.
So, what's the big goal, Josh? I know you're just entering the pro ranks here. I mean, what's the 3, maybe 5-year plan? Okay.
Why not, right? Shoot for the stars. I don't know. I mean, just kind of just having fun with this and just doing the show, doing the pro show, and just see where that goes and building on that. And
okay.
It's fun. It is. And, you get a great group of people that it's just a good environment to be around. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit, I guess, with going higher.
Do you have a certain amount of shows you want to attempt every year? Have you thought that far? Like next year, have you looked at next year's schedule?
I did, and I've only seen a few up recently, but I haven't thought that far ahead because I think we're still waiting on when we're gonna actually do the first one, and I know we're thinking about June, but we'll see what what Coach says, and that's in Indiana, right?
Yeah, I say do it, Josh. Do it.
Because someone else might be there, maybe.
I plan on it. I think it would be such a great opportunity for you. Yeah. Because then you'll know, like what's for you. And then the way that they run that show, it's top tier. It's so smooth backstage, like everything about it is just top tier.
So, Kath, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Open floor, man. Go.
When was your first pro show?
My first pro show was this year.
Okay.
It was June, like 18th, 19th, somewhere around there, mid-June, and it was Indie Pro.
Okay.
That was my.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that's my first show, and one of the main reasons why I did it is because it is probably one of the only pro shows where master competitors don't have to pay a registration fee. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to see where I felt comfortable, if I felt good as an open competitor, masters competitor, or if I felt comfortable doing both. And after that show, for me personally, I felt comfortable competing as a masters competitor. I feel like let me just see how things go, competing as a masters athlete, and then maybe from there, maybe I'll step back onto the open stage. But as of right now, I feel good competing with the masters athletes.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how was your going into your first pro show? How was like your mindset? What were you thinking doing your first pro show? And yeah,
I wanted to do well. I wanted to, my personal goal was first call outs. I didn't make first call outs, but I did place in the top 10. So that to me was like a win within itself. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I really didn't know what to expect as far as just like pro stage and, national stage. Honestly, I kind of thought, okay, pro stage is probably going to, move a little slow like nationals.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought to myself, like, okay, I got a little bit of extra time to get backstage. So I hang out in my room and then, give myself like 30 minutes to go backstage. It moved fast.
Mm-hmm. Oops.
So because it moved faster, I was a little unprepared, It was like, oh shoot, I gotta hurry up, I gotta eat my rice cakes and get this pumping. But it was a learning experience.
Yeah.
For me. So then it was just like, okay, it's okay to sit backstage as a pro competitor because it moves a little bit faster than nationals. But also too, each pro show is different. So like Indy moved fast. Chicago was a little bit slower.
Okay.
And then Tampa felt like it ran long.
Yeah.
But like the pro show, like competing on the pro level, mm-hmm. One thing that I allowed myself to do was meet people backstage. So like nationals, I would just like lock in and not talk to people or whatever. But like pro stage, I was just like, like these are people you're going to be seeing behind stage more often versus like nationals, you don't know who you're going to see backstage. You may see them at Universe, and then when you go to Pittsburgh, it's going to be totally different faces. But like the faces are more familiar when you're a pro. Yeah. So why not make friends? Why not, be friendly and get to know the people and their backgrounds? And like you shared earlier, we all have the same goal. Even though we're competing against each other, we all have the same goal. Mm-hmm. So why not, share that common interest with them and make new friends?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing that I really enjoyed. Like my first pro season was making friends, because bodybuilding can be so lonely, because regular people don't understand what it's like to be, you know, competing as a bodybuilding athlete, or let alone just be in the gym day in and day out. You know, the amount of time that we spend prepping our food, the amount of time we spend training and doing cardio and posing, and then trying to recover and get enough sleep. It's hard at times.
Yeah.
So like our coworkers and our friends and our family members, they don't fully get it. You know, they try to understand, but they don't fully get it. But when you have a friend who is competing, it's nice to be like, I feel like crap because I am at a caloric deficit and I'm overly caffeinated. They get it versus someone else. So that was my blessing out of, you know, my pro year. My first pro year was just making friends that really understand what I'm going through, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so like it's what you make it.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
you know?
That's how I felt like with the one in Pittsburgh. Just, you know, you put in the work, let the rest, you know, just whatever happens. And you know, there's a Kobe Bryant saying where he talks about, you know, if you win, you still got to wake up and do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you lose, you still got to wake up and do it tomorrow.
Yep.
So why don't you just do it with the people that are relatively knowing, you know, the sport, and just, you know, get along and just make friends, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do at the show in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And then not only that, but you know, like really loving and enjoying the process. And I can say that like this prep, it was really just like loving it. You know, like this is the first time where it was like, wow, you know, like I feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how you were just sharing about like your prep for nationals, you know, you felt good. Like you were eating more food and your body was recovering. And I felt that because it's like that's what my pro prep was like. It was different, you know, because it was like a whole new process. Like, okay, more food, more salt, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the body was responding to it, but it was like I felt good mentally, physically, emotionally. And that's what's most important is to feel good, to love it, you know? Yeah, you know, so like
Did you
you're there, Josh.
Yeah.
You have those components that are going to help you thrive even more as you prep, you know, for your pro debut.
Thank you.
You got, you know, like you got it. Everything is in your basket, you know?
Yeah.
You got the full package. You got the aesthetics, you know, the conditioning, the muscle, you got it all.
And you're humble. And you're still humble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
You're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that always gonna be yours.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
One more question, Kat. I'm sorry.
Keep them coming, Josh. Keep them coming, brother.
We had all night, sort of, kind of.
Was your prep different from your first pro show to, like, you know, other shows going forward?
Yes. Okay. So the first pro show, I was told I was a little too lean. So then coach was like, okay, we're going to add more food. And then we added more food. And then by adding more food, it, you know, like it changes your hormones. So then my body responded. It responded like it was supposed to, but then it was holding water and I was bloated for the second show. And then also too, we drank, you know, he was like, you need to drink more water. So we water loaded and everything. And then going into the third pro show, coach dialed it back a bit. And then it was just like feeding me more upfront and then tapering down as we got to show day. Because this was his first time prepping me as well. So, you know, he's learning my body as well. So it was just like, you know, we had to figure a few things out. And then by the time we got to the third show, it was just like, you know, everything was figured out. And then it was like the conditioning was there, the fullness was there, upper body and lower body was balanced. So it was like, now we know for sure what's going to work next year when we hit the pro stage again. Yeah.
Nice.
You're among an elite class, Josh, because if you think about it, there's yourself that did one show and you won your pro show. And then even though a different class, but Sam Sulek did one show, did the Arnold and won his pro show. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a small class of people that have done one and a pro show, but I'm sure you're among maybe a handful of people. So take that as, kudos, brother.
Yeah, thank you. I'd have to look into that now to see like who's in that
It's
circle.
elite. I'm sure it's elite.
It's not many. Not many people earn their pro card at their very first national show. So and then that speaks high volumes of like your train, your ethic,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not often,
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who spend years competing before they earn their pro card. Yeah.
I was actually talking to one guy backstage, and he was talking, he's 3 years in, and going from state to state doing it, and that didn't really, sink in until, after it was actually after prejudging, he told me that. So when he told me that, I was just kind of taken back by everything and like having that surreal moment.
Yeah.
Would you want to try open, or do you want to stay specifically in masters?
So my coach actually brought that up. He's
Okay.
like, you can probably do it, but there again, I think the size has to come on. But I mean, if down the road, I think if everything kind of lines up for that, then yeah, why not?
Yeah, if there's a show that does them both in one show, why not?
Mm-hmm.
You got to get nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Just go out and have fun and see what you got.
Yep. You're gonna shock yourself.
I shocked myself a little bit already, and like I'm still kind of soaking it in with this, but yeah.
Josh, as we wind down, I'm sure you still follow the league and the federation. What's the ideal lineup? You standing next to two people of your choice. You at 100%. Who would you love to just that fanboy moment to stand on stage next to?
I grew up. I love Jeremy Buenda.
Buendia?
Yeah, Buendina. Yeah, I love him, but I've always looked up to him. But Ebanks is another one. I think he's just in great. He's a specimen on by himself. But yeah, probably those. I wouldn't mind. I mean, just seeing those guys, just even backstage. Moment. Yeah, and those are the Mr. O guys. So yeah, probably like those two for sure. I mean,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy, as you wind down, any other questions for Josh?
What's your go-to refeed meal?
Okay.
My go-to refeed meal. So I didn't have say in that. I didn't have he basically he knew what I liked, because that was the thing that we started, like, okay, what kind of foods do you like? And he just kind of implemented whatever. And then like my refeed, if I had to pick, I like my steak. I actually did a Jay Cutler style thing, and I bought a cow this past month here. So I want to put on some size and really get to eating. But yeah, give me a nice steak and mashed potatoes with butter and all that fattening stuff. But as far as refeed, just more red meat. Give me some more red meat, and I'm good.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Does that taper off when you're in prep though? Do you do more like the chickens, or do you stay through steak pretty religiously throughout prep too? I
do both actually. I was still on the ground beef. I was doing like the 93.7.
Yep.
I did a little bit of the kind of cutting out that fat too a little bit.
Okay.
So, but he said don't drain it, but I felt like I wanted to, because when you start to get in your head, like, okay, you want to be, more shredded and all that. So I was doing that a little bit, but yeah, it was ground beef all the way till, like, I think the day before, I actually had like hard-boiled eggs. Actually, that's what he gave me. He gave me some hard-boiled eggs and some chicken.
Okay.
So some fats and proteins. So, and I love hard-boiled eggs too. So that's probably like one of my go-to things when I'm not even doing a competition. I can eat like a dozen of them.
When you go to family events and you're in prep, does everybody try to kind of really push you? Because I don't know if you're if you were an Italian family or more Spanish, but I know from like my wife's culture being Colombian, she loses 5 pounds and the family's like, you're too skinny, you got to put back on weight. I don't know if you get that from either of the cultures that you're part of in prep. Oh, you're too skinny, honey, you got to eat more.
My grandma. She's like that. Yeah. You know,
Okay.
oh, you're skinny, you know. And then when she calls you little, then it's just like, all right, Grandma, you just kind of killed my spirit there. It's like, but no, they're actually very, and you know, this is a very like, it's a team sport. I really believe that, you know, having the family and friends there supporting you, you know, especially when you're down on, you know, not necessarily the confidence, but you know, just you're just drained, you know, at times. So they definitely were supportive with that. With they knew, and I've been prepping my meal preps now, even before I got into the shows, like 15 years, like weighing myself out. Yeah, I've always, you know, food is medicine in my eyes. So if I think, you know, if I eat healthy, my body's gonna respond well. And I think when I start really dialing things in, I think my body adapts very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like you have a good, healthy relationship, because I know that's an issue sometimes with competitors, is the relationship isn't the healthiest, and it sounds like you have a very good relationship with food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just you know, I don't overdo it on like the sweets and all that. I don't feel like, yeah, that's just my thing. But every now and again, I will indulge. But like we're having a cookout this, you know, this weekend, you know, family function, and you know, they're kind of going up my road now, because they kind of seen what I've, you know, been doing. They always earlier on, and with me meal prepping everything, bringing food to you know, the family functions and whatnot, they'd make fun of me. But now they're like, what are you eating? What are you doing? How, you know, so they, you know, they kind of had to change their heart. So now the family and friends are kind of turning, you know, kind of into that direction a little bit. So that's kind of cool. You're kind of, you know, setting a good example too, you know, so
starting a movement.
Yeah, a little bit.
Love it. So, Kathy, any of the questions? Otherwise, we'll let Josh get back to his lovely girlfriend. And
yeah, just one question: what do you do to reset and recover? Like,
spending time with, you know, my girlfriend, just kind of hanging out, maybe doing like a little, you know, vacation if we can. We didn't have time because I went straight back to work. I kind of use a lot of that, but something just kind of bringing things, like, you know, family together, and just like we did that right after I came back. Went to work. We had a weekend off, and then we all went to a park, and we had a big cookout. We kind of celebrated a little bit, but yeah, I mean, my reset is family, and honestly just doing me kind of too. And with doing me is just, you know, just sleeping, getting my proper sleep that I want to, and kind of having, like, the gym can be fun, right? The gym can be fun when you're on prep, but you know, it's even more fun when you're super fed. So I think everything kind of just going back to the gym and just having fun with it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Awesome. Josh, it's truly been a pleasure. As you wind down, you know, please, the floor is yours. If you want to, you know, give props, thank yous, anything whatsoever to anybody in your corner.
Well, Kathy, thank you for, you know, letting me join you guys. And thank you, Sean, for letting me be
it's a
part
pleasure.
Of this. Yeah, this was fun. You know, hopefully we can do it some more, and, you know, we can bring more good news and things together. So making this, you know, a big thing.
Definitely.
Perfect. Any shout out to your coach, girlfriend, anything whatsoever?
Definitely my mom, my girlfriend, Naomi, my coach, Brock Jenkins. Definitely, they definitely were a big part of this and making this all happen. And first and foremost, God.
Love it. And Josh, I know you're not that active on social media, but do you want to share your Instagram, or does it matter to you?
I'll be back on there and starting to put my IFBB Pro status up there. It's Joshua Gomez 724.
And it's Gomez.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, just to make sure, because I know the S and the Z is very popular with Gomez.
Yeah.
Well, perfect. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Again, follow Josh, follow Catherine here, and Josh. You know, when things get closer to your next show, you know, we'd love to have you back on, either prep or celebrating your first pro win. You know, the door is open. But it's a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
And Kathy, always good seeing you, my friend.
Yes, definitely. Thank you guys for tuning in.